I'm live on my computer through my personal page on Facebook, live through the BruxRelief fan page on Facebook, and then live on my Instagram as well. And this is my first time ever doing, oh my god, it just fell. First time ever doing Instagram live, so I'm really impressed. The internet here is like phenomenal. Okay, so I think we're officially ready to go. I have really nothing planned for this. I have just some things I felt to talk about and thanks to give and all that. But I just want to let you guys know the link is live to the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter page, the link is live in all these video feeds that I've got in front of me. So you can go there to pledge. So what I wanted to talk about, a lot of my friends kind of know the story over the last year or so, like what's kind of gone on in my life, and I'll kind of recap on that. The last 3 years have been like, I've just learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about like my path through this life and all that. I believe now more than ever that everything does happen for a reason. I've always kind of believed that, but especially in the last year, it just seems like so many things have kind of all collided, and some really hard times going through, but some really amazing times as well that just stretched me in every way. And so I want to talk about, again, like some of you have heard this story before, but kind of how BruxRelief came about for me was that I moved to Bali. I moved to Bali over a year ago, and a lot of things had changed in my life. I went through a divorce. I went through a year, about 10 months or so of sleeping in my car off and on next to Jefferson Park in Denver, Colorado through that time. And every day, at the same time, I was also trying to launch another startup called Igniter. And yeah, that was like a really humbling time, very tough time. But every morning, when I'd wake up, I would say to myself, just one more step, one more day, and that brought me through each day. And I knew that this too shall pass. Eventually, this will end up being into the next phase of my life. And so I, after everything kind of ended with my my previous relationship, I spent about 2 months kind of walled in, and then I booked myself a ticket to Nepal. I don't know why. It's like always been in my head of this far off place, this Kathmandu place, this far off exotic place that I should go one day. And so I booked myself a ticket there. At the same time, I also found a volunteer opportunity to volunteer. They had earthquakes in 2015, and like a lot of Kathmandu and much of Nepal was decimated in those earthquakes, and so they needed people to come back and help rebuild. And so I just thought there was this perfect opportunity to do something that I've always wanted to do, go to this place, but also I've always wanted to do volunteer work abroad. And so a couple months later, I got on a plane to Kathmandu, Nepal, and this was like in November of 2015, and I went there, and my first day I woke up, I think I got there at like 11:30, and then I stayed up for several hours that night, and then I woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I'm gonna go for a run. Like that would feel amazing right now, just kind of go out, stretch my legs after this long flight, and go and see various spots in the city. And so I went for this really long jog. I jogged for probably over an hour, well over an hour, and the whole time kind of I had this this hill, like this hill off in the distance that I wanted to go see, because I had looked up before that there's like this temple off in the distance. I wasn't sure if this is the same place, but I could see this hill off in the distance, and that's what kind of carried me forward through that more than an hour of jogging. And I ended up getting there. And I was tired by that point, but all the things that were going on around me were I had the Nepalese walking by, just the people there, and monks walking by, and there's all these prayer wheels in front of me, and people are going by and spinning the prayer wheels, and then there's this huge temple on top of this hill with all these stairs that go up, and I just got to this place in the middle of the street, and I just kind of stopped in my tracks, and something kind of like, I just had tears in my eyes, like seeing this, how beautiful this moment was, and something kind of came to me and just said, like, this is what you were supposed to be doing. Like, this is you. You're alive, and it said you're supposed to live an extraordinary life. And I think that moment really set some things in motion. And then it was a couple days later, I had a very similar moment. We were the volunteers, got together, and then we were traveling on a bus out to the remote village we went to rebuild the school. And on the way, we stopped and ate like a breakfast / lunch at just in Indonesia they call it a warung. It was just kind of an open kitchen, not much, but we had I think some curry and some naan, and some dal bat too. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. So anyways, I remember at one point that morning I got away from the group, and I was looking out over this kind of like farmland, and there's the mountains around us, and there's this fog that was like kind of coming over, just like, again, like another beautiful moment, very sobering moment. And again, I was just like, I got tears in my eyes, and like something kind of came to me and just said, like, this is what you're supposed to be doing with your life. Sorry. So this is what you're supposed to be doing with your life. You're supposed to be helping others. And again, like that would kind of seal the deal. It was like, one, I need to go after my dreams, like live this life abroad that I've always wanted to, and really set in motion of like, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna leave and do this thing I've always wanted to do, and travel, live abroad. And so I originally was kind of thinking I was going to move to Nepal, and then I ended up going to Bali a couple weeks later. I went and I did the volunteer work, toured around, like saw a bunch of things in Nepal, hiked the Himalayas, all that stuff you're supposed to do, and then booked a plane ticket to Bali. It was just one of my friends, Dan. I think he's on this call with us, or this live feed with us. Dan, thank you for coming. But anyways, I thought he was there. He was traveling at the time too. I think he went to Myanmar and a bunch of other places. But I just went in and booked this ticket, saying like, I'll go check this place out, and maybe he's there, maybe he's not, but they'll go at least see where he's been, what he's been up to the last year, because he was living abroad at the time. And so I went to Bali, and then within a few weeks, I just really fell in love with the island and the entrepreneurship that was there. There's all these entrepreneurs, all these digital nomads, and had this great startup culture there. So I figured if there's any place to move in the world, I might as well move to Paradise. It's cheap there to live, and there's all these entrepreneurs, so I can really have people I can connect with and get fueled by in the things I am going to do. And so, I went to Bali, fell in love, and then probably about 2 weeks into it, I went to a cafe one morning, and then got on my cell phone and booked a one-way ticket back to Bali. And so that I already had my ticket back to America, and so I went back to America, sold everything I owned, and then moved within 2 months. Moved to Bali, and really, like, the decision I made was to be brave, to go after this. I'd always put things in place and always been working for this place that I needed to get to with my life, that I needed to have all this structure in place and have this kind of finances and have this kind of security in order to do these things that I really wanted to do, these things that I knew I would love. I had to like do all these things first. And so I think, life kind of teaching me some lessons, like when everything kind of came crashing down in my life and things got rearranged, it was just saying like, you should go after those things now. And I think those moments in Nepal really sealed the deal for that. So I went to Bali to be brave. And it was really interesting how life works, because within like a month or two after moving there, life forced upon me some decisions to be brave, or some opportunities to be brave. And within about a month or two after moving there, I got into this motorcycle accident and broke some bones in my cheek, stitches, and got a really bad concussion. Like I didn't feel right for about 2 months. I remember like having to hold the rails of the stairs going down in my villa there, holding the rails as I was going down the steps because I was afraid to fall. And so it was serious, and I didn't at the time really didn't treat it as such. I remember I was kind of just trying to go on with my life and just enjoy this place and all that kind of stuff. So after that, about a month after kind of recovering from that, then I got dengue fever, and that took me out for about a month. If you've ever had dengue fever, it feels like every bit of death. It's awful. And then about a month after that, I hurt my back while I think lifting weights in the gym, exercising in the gym. I hurt my back, and I spent about 2 months in and out of bed on painkillers, and I eventually had to go to Bangkok, Thailand for surgery. And so I had to spend 2 months in Bangkok, Thailand after the surgery doing recovery. So a lot of this, like at the time, I just remember feeling like there's cloud around me. Like it was just like I felt like really bad luck. I remember contacting one of my friends at the time too, and saying like she's a healer, Albie. I'm not sure if she's on this call, but Albie, I contacted her, and I was like, and she's like this kind of metaphysical healer person, and I was like, do you have any crystals? Do you have something like that can help me like get rid of whatever bad karma or energies around me? Like, can you help me? And she did. She did quite a few things for me, like just going through kind of a process, different things we did that just made me feel a whole lot better on that moment. And then I ended up going off to surgery. But I had this I felt like this dark cloud around me. And I don't know, I'm not sure about saying this right now, but I've revealed this to a few friends. At the same time, I had someone back. I had someone that was like sending me death threats as well during this time. So I had this black cloud of like bad things that had been happening to me, and I also had someone that was like sending me some bad, mean messages. And that was the first time in my life that I was scared. After all this stuff that had happened, and I'm also getting this person like sending me this dark stuff, I was scared for the first time in my life. And I originally went to Bali saying I was going to give myself, a year. I dedicated myself to living there at least 1 year. And at that time, I was definitely questioning, because I was still in Thailand when all this was going on. And sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But I wanted to go back home. I wanted to be comfortable again. I wanted my parents. I wanted family around. I didn't want to be going through all this crap. I wanted to get out of this dark place and dark cloud that was over me. And I really felt like I had a choice at that moment, still being in Thailand while this was going on, to either go home or go back to Bali, like live out what I said I was going to do, stick to that, and also be there for some people that I really cared about. My girlfriend now, she was my friend at the time. Go back for that, or go home. And ultimately, I chose to go back. But what that caused was like I got back there, and every day I was like afraid to wake up. I was afraid to go to sleep. I was really afraid like each day was going to be my last, because like when I'm riding around on my motorcycle, I'm worried. I'm the whole time like saying like, please God, like keep me alive, because I was afraid like something was going to happen. I was going to get hit by a car or another motorcycle, or something bad was going to happen, or this person that was sending me these things was going to come after me. So that's when I started grinding my teeth. That's when I started clenching my jaw during the day, is because I was like on edge, like basically prepared for a fight, and grinding my teeth at night. I think because of all that stress, all that nervousness, and so when I was in college, I was a behavioral sciences major, which is psychology. I took electrical engineering. I took a bunch of engineering courses as well as programming. And at first in Bali, I had this idea of like, I woke up one morning and just said like biofeedback therapy. Like I remember this lesson, and it was biofeedback therapy is basically this superpower. It's like Spider-Man's spider sense, where it allows you to be more aware, see a behavior, see an unwanted behavior, and you can take steps to change that. And then, once I had this idea, I did some research, and I felt like this is definitely something that can be built. And so I tried to find a electrical engineer in Bali, and that's pretty hard to find. If you've ever seen the electrical system in Bali, with all the crisscrossing wires and no organization at all, I think finding electrical engineers is pretty hard. And so one morning I just decided that I'd go ahead and build this thing myself. And so I went to Singapore. I went to a robotic shop there, picked up all the parts that I needed, and started building my first prototype on my bathroom floor, and started testing it right away, and like basically just wearing it during the day to when I started to clench while I was working, when I got scared, nervous, whatever. It would remind me, and it would make a beeping sound and like basically tell me to kind of tap me on the shoulder and be like, hey, relax, chill out, stop clenching your teeth. And then I found that, and also studies that I had found as well, I found that by treating it during the day, it actually helped me at nighttime as well. Like I was less nervous, like I was less stressed out, and within about 3 weeks, like this pain about that. Okay, so I'm back. Let's see. So, anyways, so I found out that this helped me, and I felt at that point that like, wow, this helped me. Maybe it can help other people. And so I knew I had something, and so did lots of research on bruxism, which is what I had, and found out that 1 in 3 people suffer from this. But here in Moldova, being a part of this Rockstart Launch Track program with Techwell provided the space. I have to mention those 2 things: Rockstart Launch Track and Techwell. Thank you guys. Anyways, the research that I did here, talking with people that suffer from bruxism, talking to dentists, having these interviews, they really helped me to see the story behind those numbers. So 1 in 3 people suffer from this, but only about 10% of people that suffer from this actually know that they have it and have been diagnosed by their dentist. Their dentist is saying like, hey, you need to wear this mouth guard at night to protect your teeth. And so again, that just like helped me see a different side of the market. And what I've also found out is, like 300,000 people search on Amazon.com alone every single month looking for a product to help them with their bruxism. So you've got a huge market. Also, $4 billion is spent every single year on just dental splints in the U.S. and Europe. So it's this big market. There's a lot of people obviously that need help, but there's even a bigger market. So it's only 10% of the people that actually ever find out they have bruxism, but there's a whole other people that are dealing with stress, dealing with bruxism, grinding their teeth, and they're only going to find out that they have this condition whether once enough damage has occurred, once they've grinded their teeth, or once they're having pain in their jaw and stuff like that. They're only going to find these things out really once they talk to their dentist in a lot of cases. And so what I wanted to do is just take what I had built and create a better, smaller, cheaper design that would allow this to be more affordable and more accessible to more people throughout the world that are suffering from this condition. And so the advancements that we made as a team, my team, Rob, Oksana, Max, Alex, and Mihai, thank you guys. The advancements we were able to make, like made the device smaller, made it a fraction of the cost to produce. And so that's what we're really looking at. Is the competitors on the market are anywhere from $400 to over $1,000 for these other biofeedback devices, and our device will be less than $100. So it makes the biofeedback therapy. It makes having a solution, actually having a therapy that treats the root cause of bruxism, the behavior itself, not just protecting the teeth, but actually treating the root cause. So that makes this available to more people. And so that's what this launch, this Kickstarter is all about, is getting the funds together to send this device into production. And then we'll see what the next steps are, but getting kind of this first release of the product is the goal. And then after that, whether we have to take on investors to do it on a bigger level, what kind of stuff we'll see. But that's what this comes down to. That's what this opportunity comes down to with Kickstarter. And so I wanted to thank each one of you that showed up on this live feed. It means the world to me to have your support in this, the people that have backed the project already. This is what it means to me, is ever since I was a little kid, I was always probably the weird kid in my, I was the weird kid in my dad's garage, tinkering and building things. And I always had in my mind, one day I want to be the next Edison or the next Tesla, and these great inventors throughout time is what I had in my head. And I've always been a builder. I've always loved and enjoyed building things. And the past several years, I've been in online marketing, helping clients put together sales funnels and different things like that. And then this is my first real big opportunity to go after one of my lifelong goals and passions, and building something that can help people. And I'm not going to get emotional. So that's what this means to me. It also means to me the last few years that I've gone through. I do believe everything happens for a reason, and if it all brought me here to this moment, man, every night I go to bed now. I go to bed and just thank God. All the things that I've gone through have allowed me to become, I believe, I know I got a lot of things to work on, but I believe it's made me a stronger, better man. And it's been really wonderful. I don't think I would be here, and I'm now in Bucharest, but I don't think I would have made that decision. I would have been too scared to go to Moldova, but I saw this opportunity. I was accepted into this program, and I just bought the ticket right away. And I have a wonderful woman in my life that supported that, and sacrificed being away from her boyfriend for over 3 months now, and to support me in that and really believe in me. And so I don't know, in the past, I don't know if I would be here right now, and even just getting ready for this Kickstarter launch. Maybe it might not look like a lot to you right now, this live video, but I was nervous as hell. I've been nervous all day for this live launch, and what the hell am I going to talk about? And I'm sorry I'm blabbing, but I just figured I'd go ahead and share my story. But yeah, nervous as hell even for this. But again, those lessons of all this past 3 years really came to me. It's just when you're nervous, you focus. Like if you're nervous or you're scared about something, you just focus on the task at hand. I learned this in Nepal, actually. I was gonna do paragliding for the first time, which is something that just scares the living death out of me. Jumping off a mountain, and hopefully this thing's gonna like hold you up in the air and you're gonna fly. It's like nuts. And I was, and then you also have like someone strapped onto the back of you, or you're strapped to them, and then you're running off this cliff together, and you're supposed to just trust that they buckled you in right. But in that moment, I just focused on the task at hand, like just run. That's all you got to do. Like don't think about anything else. Just run. And I, ran in that moment, focused on the task at hand, and I flew. And so these are kind of like the lessons that I learned from the past 3 years. Getting up every single day, like after sleeping in my car, and thinking like one more step. Like even just with this BruxRelief, thing. Like there's been a lot of moments where I'll be honest, like you want to give up because it's hard. It's hard, like going after your dream. It's hard, like launching something. It's hard, like doing something very innovative that no one's done before, for this particular thing, providing this solution. So you got to get others to believe in that. It's hard doing that, but again, those lessons from the past and just coming back and just saying like one more step. Like however nervous you are, however scared you are that this is going to fail, even just getting ready for this Kickstarter launch, no matter what you're worried about, just focus on the task at hand. Focus at what's in front of you. Put it all out there. Like that's put it all out there, and then leave it up to God to decide whether He's going to send some light upon your path, or have you go through some more lessons that you need to learn, become stronger and better to get get it right the next time. So I have so much to be thankful for. I have so much to be thankful for in this last few years. Again, I'm not going to get emotional. I've got amazing parents, I've got an amazing girlfriend, I got amazing friends. All you guys that have come on this video to support me, I really appreciate it. I hope you know from the bottom of my heart, what this means to me and what you're a part of. It means the world to me. It means the absolute world to me. And I know even for my team, a lot of the people that are on my team that are from Moldova, and my buddy Rob in Bali, like we're all just working our butts off, and we really believe in this thing. And so for others to believe in that enough to support us and pledging on Kickstarter, like that, it means the world to us. And if you're watching this right now, and if you can't pledge, you don't have the funds necessary to do that, I completely understand. Like I just ask you, just send a good wish and a prayer our way. And let the universe, let God take care of the rest. So I love you guys. I'll go ahead and finish with that. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Listen to my long story. Love you guys. I'll keep you updated as far as the progress of this, and let's just see what happens. And hopefully this Kickstarter is a success. We get the funds we need to start production, and we're off to the races. Love you guys. Take care. Talk soon. Bye. I'm going to sequentially shut down now. All right. Take care.